The impact evaluation model. Have you evaluated an intervention program that would show positive, negative, intended, and unintended effects? An impact evaluation provides information about the impacts produced by an intervention. This will help you make sure that what you are evaluating is actually the cause of the effect. And we will explain more about that in this type of model. So what is impact evaluation? Impact evaluation provides information about the impacts produced by an intervention. It can be undertaken of a program or a policy or upstream work such as capacity building, policy advocacy, and support for an enabling environment. This goes beyond looking only at goals and objectives to also examine unintended impacts. So why do we do impact evaluation? An impact evaluation can be undertaken to improve or reorient an intervention, such as for formative purposes, or to inform decisions about whether to continue, discontinue, replicate, or scale up an intervention. While many formative evaluations focus on processes, impact evaluation can also be used formatively if an intervention is ongoing. For example, if the findings of an impact evaluation can be used to improve implementation of a program for the next intake of participants by identifying critical elements to monitor and tightly manage. Most often, impact evaluation is used for summative purposes. Ideally, a summative impact evaluation does not only produce findings about what works, but also provides information about what is needed to make the intervention work for different groups in different settings. Evaluation at its core may be straightforward, but the situations in which it is applied can be complex and at times make evaluation daunting. The impact of an evaluation process is primarily directed at individuals who want a clear map that guides them through the process and helps them keep a pragmatic focus. The idea is that when a well-articulated plan, the actual evaluation process will be simpler and more straightforward. The impact evaluation process consists of 7 elements. Although they are conveyed in sequence here, they can be considered reiteratively. The basic steps and approach are illustrated in this figure, which reflects the nested relationship among the 7 elements of the process with stakeholders and external impact on society as the basis for everything done in an evaluation. So for example, the first step is identifying stakeholders and expectation, and this is where you build your foundation and the value added to the client society. And it goes up to the model such as the decisions and objectives, your measurable indicators, data sources, data collection methods, data analysis, recommendations for improvement, and the impact. With this, you're going to end up on the top part of the model, where you're going to see the value added to the clients and society. Around this or along the pathway is you'll be able to continue to improve on the processes and the evaluation model that you have. Some of the literature review about this process is, the first one is, the author of the book that we're reading is Guerra Lopez, published the most recent evaluation model of impact evaluation. Her model came from Kaufman's work, which is the needs assessment and strategic planning. So what are the strengths and limitations of impact evaluation? The first strength is there's a strong focus on aligning performance toward ultimate desired impact. The second strength is that a strong focus on alignment of all evaluation steps. And the third strength is a detailed guidance for conducting an evaluation in its entirety, from establishing partnerships to ensuring that recommendations are implemented. Some of the limitations we have is that the first one is the steps in the process could be perceived as linear, because you have from step 1 to the second. The second limitation is the linkage to external contributions and environment could be seen as irrelevant by some organizational members. So what are the impact evaluation might be appropriate? And what might not be appropriate when using this application or model. So the first is the issue is intended uses and timing. Impact evaluation is appropriate when there is a scope to use the findings to inform decisions about future intervention. Another one about impact evaluation is focus on it is appropriate to use it when there is a need to understand the impact that have been produced. Another one about impact evaluation is talking about resources, where there are adequate resources to undertake a sufficiently comprehensive and rigorous impact evaluation, including the availability of existing, good quality data, and additional time and money to collect more. And another is, of course, relevance, when it is clearly linked to the strategies and priorities of an organization. Impact evaluation might not be appropriate when there are no clear intended uses, or intended users, for example. Decisions have already been made on the basis of existing credible evidence. Also, in priority at this stage is to understand and improve the quality of implementation. Impact evaluation may not be appropriate also when existing data are inadequate and there are insufficient resources to fill the gaps. And also, impact evaluation may not be appropriate when it is peripheral to the strategies and priorities of an organization, partnership, and or government. So impact evaluation are used by different world organizations, such as the World Bank, UNESCO, Australian government, such as the USAID, UNICEF, and Japan International Cooperation Agency. Basically, they use impact evaluation to evaluate programs that they have funded. And as you can see, that this evaluation is not just for training, but also as a program as a whole. So impact evaluation can provide a meaningful evaluation, especially if you would like to see the effects of your training program. You would be able to identify using this program or evaluation model if you are trying to know if that effect caused with your training program or not. In summary, impact evaluation process incorporates a focus on adding value to external clients and society. The defining characteristic of the model is alignment between data collected and evaluation questions. The model is action-based and targets the implementation of recommendations that lead to improved performance. The model is new, thus a full body of criticism and response to it has not yet been developed. And this is no reference.